It's the mind. You let go of that, everything falls away. You got to let go of you if you want it to go away. That's how you return to source. Because the only thing that it consists of you is thoughts condensed in energy. It's charged. Thoughts like a form of vortex. Very when you let go and you let that whole thing drop away, and then you find yourself as a ready source. You'll realize the you is only made up of thoughts. And your consciousness is so in that vortex, and just the short thoughts are there that it keeps, and because it's energy, and when it's focused on, it gives it real reality and charge. The characters and everything, the Maya appears real. Thoughts are believed and given reality and charge. You are given reality and charge as a real thing. Any thought. You watch the mind. You're the one watching it. Watch what it says. If you are source, what's identifying with the body? What's saying it's the body? It's not the body saying it either. It becomes very amusing when you pay enough attention to it. And you also, that's what I'm saying, the patterns that come out are like really, it keeps coming out. So more and more, even if it's like shadowy things and it's whatever, samskaras, habits, anything, like as long as you've believed you were a character and you've played a character, whatever that character has believed, done, stole a chocolate when it was 5, whatever, who knows. All the stuff comes out. All its habits, patterns, whatever it took on, that life, this life, whose life, family's life, part of this character story. All those start coming through. But as I say, when you want to let go of everything, you need to let go of the character. But that takes some, as I said, it's resonance. It depends. Some just drops away. It's frequency and vibration when they're ready. Who knows? But that is. There's no returning to the character. The character is an illusion. The person, the body and character, all of it is a complete appearance. It's not you, it's never been you, ever. That's the thing. They thought forms that are energized and believed in, and you've been chasing them for probably 1,000,000 years. When you go back and like, wow, when you originally left source, started playing again, it's probably, I remember I asked, it was about 1,000,000 years. And you've been going around in this story, saying, when you actually left source, when you return to all that is to like nothing, and then when you eventually decide to play again, it was about 1,000,000 years ago, this body decided, or this consciousness started playing the Maya again. Wow. In the story, because there's no time, but in the story, wow, you've gone through planets and bodies and dimensions and all kinds of things in the story, because it's your story. So it keeps changing and evolving, and otherwise you get so bored playing with the same story, you see. So it keeps changing the story, going around here. Thank you. German organic tea with a British cup. Good mix, isn't it? It is nice, yes. Yeah, well, this weekend hasn't been been a bit of indulgent on the food side this weekend. The weather's been a bit, yeah. Anyway, not exactly outdoor weather, or So there we are. It's amazing. And that's why I say, you can get tired of being in the dream. You've been dreaming for a long time, you see. And now you're starting to wake up, so you're dropping. You've got to let go of all of the stories and the charge to it. That's what really happens. The so-called astral thing is about, is letting go of the past dreams and all their charges. That's what your whole astral story is about. It's going into all the other stories that weren't resolved, maybe that there was still charge, that these patterns are carried into. And then it goes to all these things, and then it gets to the mental body. So it goes through so many different things of getting rid of all patterns and programs and habits. And then it can go start the mind. Wow. Yeah, wow. As I say, you watch it. It's very interesting when you watch the thoughts, or you're aware of them and they pop up and you're like, wow, okay. But you don't get to see, you get to a stage where you know it's not you and you don't take it personally. So otherwise you get upset. Oh my gosh, it's my thought. See, you fear your thoughts, your source. But because you're taught they're real and they're yours, you fear them. So when there's a negative thought arise, I can't have a negative thought. Oh, no thought has any power or charge unless it's believed in and it's identified. Or you, as the source, you say, oh my gosh, you see. So you're fearing your own thoughts. So when a negative thought, let's say, it's a label too. When a thought, it's polarity because it's a game. So it can offer you all things. It can offer you some not so pleasant thoughts because that's a job. One good one will come up and then a bad one will try its luck, you see. Because it's a game. It's duality. So a nice one will pop up and then a complete opposite one will pop up and try, and, you're like, wow, okay, that's not very nice. Just see if you're going to buy it. But when you know it's not you and they're just thoughts and you're very well aware you're the one who's watching them, then you're not going to be frightened of the thoughts because they are part of the Maya. They just appear. They don't belong to anyone. The problem is because you believed they were and you've identified, this is what I'm saying, the whole unidentifying. Unidentifying with all your triggers and baggage, then unidentifying with the body, then unidentifying with the thoughts. All of these, it's just a thing. It's going and going. Some of them, they come up, you're like, wow. Some you can actually laugh at. You're like, you're going to be kidding, It's like, no, thank you. Wow, you see, but there's also still identity. That's what I'm saying. If you want to step out of the game, there's no identity with any of it. Then obviously it's much easier then. There's no one. Then you're not choosing a character. It can get upset about that. Obviously, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's just the game. If you understand you are still source, the thoughts have no power over you. You're the one that gives them the energy and the power. That's the difference. It's your consciousness, your awareness, your energy or intent. Because, see, as the source, which is pure just awareness, whatever you define it, you are seeing it, then your reaction is you're defining it, believing it, frightening it, whatever. That's what gives it the energy. It's fed with energy. That's what then is the driving force. So this is why it has charge, and this is why you feel like it's a vortex. You see, because those thoughts are energized and it's noisy, it's static. That's why you feel so nice when it all stops and you're quiet and you transcend the body or mind. It's like, because that's you. You've stepped out of the game. That's why you like sleeping. Deep sleep, it's like, oh my gosh, why? Because all that is, gone. All that noise and blah, blah, blah and stories and all of that. None of it's actually happening. None of it's real. And you have that peace in deep sleep, and when the body drops, you have that peace again. Because then you're just watching the story and there's no attachment. There's just love. And you, as a spirit, you see, as a non-physical, you see it all as a transparent dream and you're not like, it's just love. Just stories. You made up these characters. They're just characters in a story. That's it. And not real either. Made of energy. All made of energy. Nothing else. No real substance to anything. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, you see, but now when you tell someone who's completely unawakened that they will absolutely, literally, they do think you're loopy. They're very concerned about you because they have not woken up yet. They haven't even experienced any non-physical, any astral, any communication with themselves. As it depends how it appears, Jesus, the soul, whatever. So they literally think this is it. This is it. There's nothing else, and that you are, lost the plot. Yes, exactly. But there we are. It's just roles you play. There's no right or wrong. Whatever the body does, the body does. Whatever it's playing and supposed to be playing and roles it. This body just says it has some interesting interactions these days, and you don't care how any other body reacts, because it's probably agreed. So this body was, putting it out there to see. You see, you're seeding, you're dropping seeds. So who knows? So it's all one source. So whatever this body does, it does. You don't judge it. It's dropping seeds. It's no right or wrong. In the consciousness, testing, dropping the water, you're giving them an option. And whether they take it or not is irrelevant. That's what I'm saying. Even that you don't worry or judge. If they call you loony or smile or have, whatever. That's it. So one talking to the one anyway. Yeah, all of it's imagined, yes. All of it's imagined. All the characters disappear and there's all happiness, and as I say, when the body's not there, that's why I say you can experience it if you want to let go of the body now. So they say die before dying. You can stay a source now while the dream is still going on. That's what the ultimate level is, the Guru Zoo. Wake up in the dream. That's waking up in the dream. No, not now. I'm not going to be on long. I don't really feel like chatting now. Just chilled. Having a very chill time. All right, people. So please be patient out there and understand. And don't judge, as I say, because you are seeing, we're seeing the split solidify, because you can literally see the frequencies and vibrations have shifted enough that they actually cannot see. You can still coexist when you can interact, and even if you don't agree on the same level, whatever else, and as you noticed before, people fall out your life and things, but when they actually cannot communicate, when you're not able to grasp or understand what you're saying, different frequency and vibration, then that kind of makes sense. The frequencies and vibrations are becoming like, so in other words, you've hit that, let's say, in a story you've got a dimension. When you're at let's say, the cusp of that dimension, you're at that borderline, the veil thing, just before you shift, as I'm saying, and then poof, that's it. There literally will be other bandwidths. You shift literally into other bandwidths. So I think that's what we are now, at that cusp of it falling away, literally. Where you will, let's say, depending on, I don't know who everyone is, but when you experience yourself as spirit source is no form again. As I say, when you see there's no forms here, no matter here. Wow, nobody's real. Oh shit, wow. And then you stare at them like, people you've known, you believe they were real people. It's quite a shock when you looking at them and you're like, oh. But that's, as long as you believe you really are, and a person and a human and born and well, there we are, Anyway, who knows what's happening? But I've noticed this. And I was like, okay, they don't understand what I'm saying. They're not resonating. They cannot literally hear me. I was like, wow, interesting. All right. Remember, as I say, nothing happens to anybody because there's no real people here, literally. They're all you playing characters. So love them as you, because that's what they are. It's just your energy in different shapes and forms and playing a role for your story. As long as you keep saying this is a story and what they're gonna keep performing. That you, when you decide I'm a soul or I'm a source, then it changes. So you're the one who's still at the driving seat of the story. You see, there we are. There is love, and there's amusement actually, because I can look. It's like chalk and cheese. That's what I'm saying. The exact opposites. When you know yourself, when you've experienced it, it's not like it's a physical. You've experienced it. They haven't at all. So for them, like, you are like talking about some fantasy, and for you, you're looking at everyone else as you're in the fantasy. You really believe you're real, of course. But that's what I'm saying. So that's why at that time in the dream, there's a reason why they're choosing it, because they're still working through maybe the story or things, whatever. So I'm saying at different phases. So for them, in order to work through, like you did when you were unawakened, your samskaras or whatever you've chose to experience, you need to believe it's real, or it won't have that effect on you. How's it going to have any effect on you? So you are really choosing to deeply be asleep, to experience it as a real, reality. That's all. That's it. But as soon as the story's over, the bodies go, poof, there we are. There's no illusion of what's going on then after that. But as soon as you drop back in as a complete, as I say, that's the thing. It's when you get to that level, you can't be asleep again. You understand? This is why they say to wake up in the dream. You're not going to come back asleep and go through the whole repeated cycle like a washing machine. See? Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So much love. So much love. And don't fear. Okay? Don't fear. Because there is only you, is what I'm saying. This is really a dream. Trust yourself. Know that it's you. And you love you. So just know that you are absolutely loved, because the self loves itself and is only the self here. Not as a physical body. You literally are that. So the more you hold that love or feel that love for yourself as source or whatever else, the more you will also experience that. You see, it shifts your frequency. It's consciousness. But if you're identifying with the physical human body, that's a lot denser. Remember, if you are still thinking and believing I'm a dense, real person, that's a density. That's solid, that's crystallized, that's a lower frequency, much lower frequency. No, I'm not matter. There isn't any science to tell you that. That's why they're confused. But there's no matter, but everything looks real because they still believe they're real, you see. Because you're a perceiver. You're the one it's your perception. So you're saying, but this is reality. But if we look close, we can't find any matter. When you stop believing there's matter, you will not see it either. You see, you won't experience it when you don't believe you are a real thing. But if you're a real thing as a scientist looking for, the truth, and that's why it doesn't tally up. People are like, no, we don't buy this quantum science stuff. Because that's why they can't understand it, because doesn't make sense, because what does it seem real? It's because you believe you're a real thing and a real person who was born. It's all consciousness. They've got it back to front. You got to address it as consciousness. Anyway, it's all you got to laugh. It's a dream. It's your dream. It's all fun. And there's love. And there's sadness. There's a lot of compassion here. When I see the fear and hate sometimes, and I see some of the beings that I say that are very stuck in dense Because that's just, as I say, this is what it is. You're in polarity. Whatever you're going to see, you will see the opposite of it. Because it automatically creates an opposite to everything. Because that's how it balances itself out. So yes, you will see density and yeah. And there's sometimes a sadness and there's compassion. Because that experience, experiencing is very not pleasant. Even though while it's experiencing it, yes, when it leaves the body, obviously the suffering ends. Because then the illusion's over. Well, depends. It's all consciousness, you see. You can't escape yourself. This is why even near-death experiences are different, because the consciousness, whatever it believes, even though the body drops, it's going to still experience that. You see? This is what people don't understand. It is only consciousness. And this is why there's so-called reincarnation, because you can't escape yourself. If you believe you're real, you're going to carnate again and kind of keep on carnating because I'm a person, I've got to have a body. So you're going to keep looking for other bodies and other stories because you believe you are a character, a separate thing. You still believing you're a thing. And if you believe in something else, and when you have a near-death experience, you'll experience judgment or fake heaven. And it's like a city. It's like a holographic city, crystal city. It's really strange. There's all different things up there. So there's different so-called experiences. You see, you can create. That's why if you listen to these near-death people have studied them, people have had very different experiences depending on their belief and their religion. You see. But so, they'll find themselves whatever they expect. Their loved ones meeting them or whatever. It depends on your level of consciousness. Even that, your loved ones are source playing a loved one. Your source playing an angel. Because you are still saying they're separate things. It's only you. Appearing as an angel, appearing as Jesus, whatever you believe and want and need. Poof, there we are. It's like a magic genie. So if you need the angel, poof, it appears. If you need whatever. But when you get to a certain level, there's no need for any toys and blankets and dummies and bottles. These are little things, you see, because we don't want to, it's just us, I'm alone, it's just me. So we still need these things. So we'll hang on to the body and other beings and guides and whatever we, need them to appear as. But it's still us. Only source exists. He will appear as an angel. You will appear as an angel, a guide, a mother, a father, whatever is needed or believed by, you know what I mean? Stages, different game stories, that's it, literally. Even as your enemy, so-called in the story. Because you believe you have one or whatever else, or whatever you. That's it. But there's still only the one energy, the one consciousness, the one thing. It's literally like, as I say, when you get to that state, it's like a magic guru. Anyway. So there we are. That's why they say self-love is so important, because it is you. And when you love you love your dream, everything gets better. You see, it's a frequency, because that's it. Literally, there's only you. Love yourself as the self, as, the carrier, everything. Just love, if possible. If not, that's also, as I'm saying, there's only one choosing here. There we are. So, there we are. Fascinating, isn't it? Wow. All right. So much love, people. Have a very good evening or morning or night, wherever you are. And just, be. Lots of love. Bye.